In this video, we will take a look at the in-meeting experience now that we have configured our settings in the settings area where we turned off all chat, as well as in the meetings area where we have done several things, including requiring participants to start in a waiting room before joining our rooms. And in all of those settings areas, we have also turned off the participants' ability to use annotations, and we have set it up so that their webcams are off when they enter. Please note that with the chat turned completely off, you will not see the chat function at all, and you will not be able to even enable chat with the teacher. Let's go ahead and start our meeting. So remember that your students will need the meeting ID as well as the password, or if they're joining by the browser, they just need the link because it includes the password and the meeting ID within it. All right, while I'm waiting for my participants to arrive, I can do some additional settings. For example, I can click up next to the video camera and choose virtual background because I enabled this in my settings prior to this meeting starting. I have noticed that this feature does not work on my Mac. It may work on some other people's MacBooks, but it does not work on my Mac. I'm using my PC in order to demonstrate this to you. When you choose virtual background, notice that it will give me a series of backgrounds to choose from. It will give me a preview of how that looks. This allows me to hide my background in my house. So I'm going to close that now that I have started my thing, and I'm going to, on my phone, I'm going to go ahead and join this meeting. Notice that I have gotten a notification that someone would like to join the meeting and they are waiting in the waiting room. So I'm going to hit admit, and now I have two participants in my meeting. Myself on my phone, and then myself as the host of the meeting. So again, notice we have turned off the chat completely, so you have no chat features here at all. If you go to manage participants, however, there are a couple things you can do, and one of the things you want to do right away is mute all and uncheck the ability for participants to unmute themselves. What this will do is this will then require participants to raise their hand or show you that they'd like to speak, and then you can go to their name in the participant menu and click more. So in our settings in the original video, we actually turned off the ability for anybody to chat because the chats can't be moderated and they can't be deleted. So if something inappropriate gets posted in the chat, it will be there for everybody to see. We came into the meeting and we muted everybody and then turned off their ability to unmute themselves. We want to come up into share screen, but instead of clicking on share screen, we want to click on the button to the right. Only one participant at a time is the default, leave it there, but then click on advanced sharing options. And what you're going to do is say that only one participant at a time can share, and that is only the host. That will prevent other people who break into the room, or students even, from taking over your screen and sharing inappropriate content. Those are essentially the settings that you can configure from within your room once the meeting has started. If you would like to then allow an individual student to share their screen, one option that you have is to go to the participant's name and hover where it says more, and then choose make co-host. Don't make them host because that takes away the host from you and you can't get it back, but you can make them the co-host. So choose make them co-host, and it'll show me on my device as the student that I've been made the co-host. And then I can tap on my device and I can share my screen because I have actually been given permission to share my screen. So I'm going to, for example, just find a quick picture, and now I am sharing my screen, and all I am sharing is just a photo from my yard. So in a moment, there we go, it's going to share that photo. When I no longer want to have my participant sharing the screen, I'm going to click as the host on the manage participants. I'm going to click on more next to her name, and I'm going to withdraw the co-host permission. that's going to take away that person's ability to continue sharing anything on their screen. So in this video, we reviewed how to set our virtual background, which again doesn't work on all devices, but if you have the option, you will find it by clicking on the button to the right of the video camera and then choose virtual background and then selecting the virtual background that you would like to use. We also reviewed how to be sure that not only can only one participant at a time share their screen, but we can turn off the student's ability to share by making sure that the setting only says the host can share. We reviewed that we could make a student a co-host to temporarily give them the ability to share their screen, and then we can withdraw that permission afterwards. And we noticed that because we turned off the chat in our settings in the Zoom account before we started this meeting, there is no chat here to enable. So it will be very important to turn on the participant's microphone in order for them to talk, and you can do that one at a time. But now you can see that I'm muted, and I can unmute and remute. So the teacher has the ability to do that.